Woody, Barbie, and Rex. These are the 10 scariest toys caught moving on camera. Number 10, Woody. Toy Story showed us that toys had their own little world where they tried to make things work for them. We all enjoyed watching them because it was a cartoon. Or was it? In this video, a dad and his son are at a toy shop looking at a Woody toy. All the other toys are standing in their boxes, but Woody is sitting and he looks quite sad. The father said he saw the toy move. It's almost like Woody tried to run away from the store before the father and son came along. Maybe it's the real toy from the Toy Story cartoons. This is the second toy from the Toy Story collection to move on its own. What do you think? Are these toys alive? Number 9, Barbie doll. Barbie dolls are one of the most popular toys in the world. The toy comes in different sets, with houses and clothes and cars and many things that make Barbie look like a real person. You could style her hair and make her hang out with Ken. The toy's a lot of fun for many kids. But this isn't about a fun toy. It's about a scary one that made a poor girl scream. So there's a young girl playing with 2 Barbie dolls. She has one on her left hand and one on the right. She's making up stories as she goes and looks like she's having a lot of fun. Then someone calls the girl from around the room and she looks up from her dolls. But what happened next is the most frightening thing. The Barbie doll on her left turns its head to look at her. Just as the girl turns back to the doll, she sees it staring and freaks out, throwing both dolls away. Looks like even Barbie isn't left out. Number 8, Rex toy. Here's another moving toy from Toy Story. Remember Rex, that dinosaur who was always so nervous and terrified? Well, this Rex toy we're talking about was the opposite of the real one. The toy was owned by a little boy, let's call him George. George noticed that his Rex toy always looked different from how he left it. He thought he was just seeing things at first, but then he considered recording it. So the next time he wasn't playing with his toys and was watching cartoons instead, he set up a camera and hid it with some clothes. And true to his suspicions, something happened. The Rex toy started to move its mouth on its own. First it opened it, then shut it, then opened it again. This continued for a few seconds before stopping. After seeing his cartoon, George returned to his toys and picked up Rex. He'd forgotten about the camera, but after a while, he saw the recording equipment and asked his parents to play the video. There, they found Rex moving. George's parents put the video online soon afterwards. We feel sorry for the poor boy who's had to deal with that at such a young age. If you think that the toys caught moving on camera so far were scary, wait until you see the rest we've lined up for you. It's about to get even scarier. Now we're gonna look at a creepy elf toy, a jealous doll doing weird things, and a doll that was caught moving behind 2 girls. Number 7, Elf toy. Elf on a Shelf is one of those well-known toys that are popular during some periods of the year, especially Christmas. Since elves are Santa's little helpers, they also watch over children and report to him about kids that have been naughty or nice. That's how Santa makes his list. As if it's not creepy enough that kids are being watched by elves, an elf toy moved on camera. So this lady, let's call her Bobby, went to the store for Christmas shopping. She saw an elf toy and got it to use in the decorations. As soon as she got home, she took out her phone and started recording the toy. Bobby wanted to show off her new purchase, and she didn't seem to notice what had happened. As she was filming the toy and speaking, the elf's eyes moved. Elf on a Shelf toys usually look in one direction, but this one moved its eyes and looked directly at the camera. We don't know about you guys, but we're suspicious of our elf toys. Maybe they aren't really watching us. Number 6, Jealous doll. This story is about a little girl. Let's call her Jean. Jean's been speaking to her dad about her toys doing weird things when she wasn't looking or in the room. Her dad doesn't think it's anything, so he doesn't worry about it. But Jean kept saying that something was wrong and her dad was tired of hearing it. So to show her that nothing was wrong with the dolls, he set up a camera in the room. But what he found was not pretty. Little Jean was having a tea party with some of her dolls. She left out a plush doll that had long pigtails. The doll didn't seem to like being left out of the party, so it started moving its head from side to side. Jean doesn't know about this until after she saw the video with her dad. We believe she never played with dolls again. Number 5, Peekaboo. So far, many of the toys that have been caught moving on camera were suspected by their owners. But what happens when no one even knows that something scary is going down? That brings us to the story of this tiny doll in a cupboard. So the video is quite cheery. You can see the 2 girls playing with cups near a table and having a good time. They're building a tower of cups, which is a good game. Someone's recording them on camera. A boy walks in and just moves on. Nothing strange. But what no one sees is the toy in the cupboard behind the girls. In the highest part that isn't close, a tiny toy sits up and looks around. After the video was put up online, people started talking about it, and the camera guy replied that the video was real. He also said that the toy had been acting strange for a while. That's the creepiest thing we've seen so far. Number 4. YouTube Video Doll. It's 2015 and YouTuber called Spunkflunk uploads a video on YouTube. But it's not his video that made people start talking, it's what happened during the video. See, Spunkflunk was all alone in his room. The door was shut and there were no windows in sight. His bed is nicely laid out. Towards the headboard, there's a doll wearing a black dress. It's weird enough that a doll was the only toy on his bed, but something stranger was about to happen. Just as he was talking to the camera, the doll started to move its left arm. People who saw the video couldn't understand how. Some said it might have been wind, but there was nothing to show that this was the case. For one, the room was closed and there was nothing else in sight. Secondly, Spunkflunk wasn't even looking, so the toy didn't know it was on camera. If this happened to us, we'd move to a new country and try to forget about this toy. Starting out, things get serious. It's now time to look at a 200-year-old family doll, the hammock baby, and finally, a dancing skeleton. Number 3. 200-year-old doll. This story is about a family that has had the same doll for more than 200 years. First of all, why? Why do you keep on passing down something that old for more than 100 years? Did no one think they should maybe get a new doll? But they learned the hard way. Usually when they kept the doll in a particular place and went to sleep, they often heard footsteps and noises from that area. And it's not like it was just the family. Even the neighbors complained of noises at night. So the family wanted to see what was going on with their doll and set up a camera for the night. When they woke up the next day, they found the weirdest thing. The doll moved. And it's not just moving its arm a little. No, this doll was moving its arms and body like a little child, like it saw someone and wanted to be lifted. You don't want to see this video before going to bed. It's bad. You could not look at dolls the same again after this. Number 2. Hammock baby. A couple woke up every day in the middle of the night because their baby was always crying. They soon noticed that the baby always cried at the same time every night. To find out what was happening to their child, the couple set up a baby monitor. In their room, they started watching the baby when they noticed something strange. There was a plush toy baby in a hammock near the child. First, the baby woke up and started to move around, then the toy moved too. First it moved its left hand, which made the hammock swing forward and backward. Then it started to move its right hand and swing the hammock even more. At this point, the child looked upset and you can tell it wants to cry. The toy continues to move its hand until it leaves it on its chest. That couple will never sleep apart from their baby again. Now on to the moment you've all been waiting for. Number 1. Dancing skeleton. The story of the dancing skeleton is pretty weird. Let's call the guy who has it Gary and his friend Luke. So Luke goes to a carnival and meets a gypsy woman who gives him a skeleton figure toy. He accepts because why not? He comes back from the carnival and gives the skeleton to Gary as a gift. And since no one in this story knows how to ask any questions, Gary accepts the toy. But he doesn't enjoy it for long because it stops working. So into the basement it goes with other stuff they don't use anymore. Then one day, Gary wants to have a garage sale and he brings out the skeleton. After dusting it, he decides to give it one last go. But it's something he came to regret. After plugging it into an outlet, Gary tries to turn on the toy but it doesn't start. Even his wife, we'll call her Laura, tries too. A little while later, the skeleton starts to speak on its own. Laura is scared, so she asks, "What do you want?" Creepily answers, "You." The skeleton starts to dance violently until its bandana falls off and doesn't stop again until Gary pulls the plug. We doubt if the couple ever slept again after that day. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.